Hello, welcome to Game Philosopher. Today we are talking about nothing else but anime, manga, gaming, and philosophy. So, I've been looking at Faye Valentine and Darth Revan, two different creators. One from the Cowboy Bebop and one from one of my favorite games of all time, Knights of the Republic. Not only from Knights of the Republic, but he was also from a few of the books written by LucasArts and the Hunter Entertainment Company. Now, the interesting thing about these two characters is they both share one thing in common, that they both lost their personalities and their identities. Well, I wouldn't say they necessarily lost their personalities, per se, because they just lost their identities. And Faye Valentine seems to still have a personality even when they revealed her backstory, where she forgets who she was from the hospital. Now, the interesting thing to note is that these two handle it differently. Faye Valentine, as soon as she figured out all this, she goes right back to the very first people she saw when she woke up from her surgery and bad car crash. People who later turned out to be con artists. But Revan, what he does is that he makes friends with people, and he listens to people, and he eventually, as he's doing stuff and trying to be productive in society and forming his own personality, he is listening very intently and eventually learning who he is and even getting some little hints of who he is. Now, of course, I'm ignoring some of the stuff like how the Force is involved in the Star Wars story, and even the later episodes of Cowboy Bebop, where she does, find out who she is. But at the same time, this poses a very interesting question that was actually part of philosophy, and still is part of philosophy, which is existentialism versus essentialism. Now, to simplify things, grossly simplify things for this one video, existentialism, in one hand, and its whole entire thesis for the whole entire philosophy is that there's no purpose for you except for the purpose that you create. It sounds very pessimistic, doesn't it? Well, there's a lot of very interesting things about this personality or this philosophy that it actually empowers you, because you actually create things that reminds you that you have complete and total freedom of everything. So you don't have this prearranged personality or anything. You're just going through the world discovering things, and you eventually put up into learning who you are. On the other hand, essentialism is essentially where you have this purpose already planned out for you. And within this purpose that has been planned out for you, what happens to you is that you actually learn things. Like, you learn that all humans like this or that this is good for you, this is bad for you, based off of this purpose that was already there in the beginning. And I will not go into justifications for both, because I'm not really wanting to do that in this video. Instead, what I want to do in this video is talk about whether or not personalities are given to you, and if they're static and they're always there, or they are created over time. And essentially, in the context of something like, let's imagine that you are Faye Valentine or Darth Revan. So you have no personality. It's been wiped out by some tragedy, whether it be war or some type of car crash that renders you incapable, that you have to have cryogenic freezing in order to be unfrozen in the future when they have the technology to save you. So what big deal here. So, under this type of this whole entire scenario, that you do not know who you are, you don't recognize your past, you don't know anyone around you, you don't even know the people you just met until they introduce themselves to you. And apparently they've been there to keep you alive and to take care of you, and they claim to help you, but at the same time, you don't even know what happened to you. Everything could be a lie at this point. Nothing can actually be trusted, but at the same time, you have to trust them because you don't know for save who you are, you don't know who they are, you don't know how you got there or anything. You just know that you're just there. You have no personality of your own. But at the same time, that if this is the case, that your personality has been completely forgotten, which it is, we only can assume that we are not in the past the same person as we are now. And since we are not that person, because that person in the past, we don't know who that person is now. We can only rely on one thing, and what we have to rely on is that the past doesn't define us. It's our actions, it's our words, it's the actions of other people on us, and how we interact with things, and that defines who we are largely. Ignoring things like personal hobbies and stuff, which is again probably inspired by something that has happened to us in the past, where we might like, for example, music, or this type of music, or that type of music. We might like philosophy, we might like poetry, gaming, whatever, just because we had some type of fond memory of it in the past. So pretty much right here, it seems like I'm saying that the past does influence you, which it does, but I don't think it completely influences you. But anyway, so our actions, our words, the actions done to us, the words said to us, this all defines us in this moment. And if we are who we are now, we are the product not only of those thoughts and actions, but since our thoughts are inspired by past actions or of things that we've done or that have happened to us, that we are ultimately only influenced by some of the past. And if we are influenced by the past, yet we have no knowledge of what has happened before, we only have the current to tell us who we are or who we are not. And if this is the case, that we are who we are or who we are not based off only the current, that the fact is that it's only current actions and current thinking that helps us, and in this case, personality can only be considered to be created. And if personality is only created, it is not predestined. Therefore, personality is made by the individual, because when you have this personality, it's completely yours, because it's you. You pretty much choose what you like, you choose what you don't like. Yes, there are influences, but these influences don't matter if you don't know who you are in the past, that your memories have been wiped. It's ultimately you, that you are the ultimate creator of this personality of yours, that it is not there to begin with. Although at the same time, you have the whole entire concept that the things that we have experienced ultimately have to be perceived originally by something, because we had no experience of anything in the original spot. So that's a complex part of the argument, which would be more for another video. And so this is Game Philosopher. Thank you for watching. Like that video, comment, subscribe, hit that bell button if you enjoyed this video, so you can watch more content. And you will enjoy what I have in store for you Monday, because it's more comedy. And let's be honest, it's your personality. If you didn't watch this video, you would not, and your personality, find its content agreeable because you kind of like philosophy, you kind of like intellectual topics, and let's be honest, I'm a nerd. My personality says I'm a nerd, and I will remain a nerd at least until somehow I got my personality wiped and I somehow like things other than what I like because of some bad event that happened that has wiped out my memory, and my life gets completely and totally rewired. So yeah, see you in the next video.